Hey folks, JD here, and only a short video today, but I just wanted to go through a couple of things, and that is quite literally about the Hubsan Zino and the gimbal/video. Now, I've been asked by a couple of people that say that the Zino doesn't record great video, that there's an issue that the video isn't bright enough, that sometimes the video is very, very dark, and what are my thoughts on that? Well, firstly, update your Zino. If your Zino isn't on the latest firmware, then I can't really comment on how the video looks because I've only got mine, which is on the latest firmware, and I can say that the video in my particular, or the raw output of my particular videos, I'm really happy with the quality in 4K. At 30 frames a second. Now, one thing I have noticed going back to the darkness element of these particular videos, now what you're going to see here is quite a dark video in itself. Now, unfortunately, it's only screen recorded, but it's just to give you the idea of what I'm talking about. Now, a lot of this video here is very dark. It was recorded at 5:30 in the morning when there was beautiful bright sunshine. There was no problem with light. My other cameras, like the GoPro, as I'm sure you can see here, picked up the light without any problem, but I was also considering why the Hubsan was like this. And so I locked the Hubsan in one particular area and I started to play around with the gimbal. Now, because I do a lot of stock photography and I do a lot of still photography, I know how a handheld camera works, but it's a little bit different when you're at altitude with a quad. So what I did was I just locked the quad in place and I just started moving the gimbal around. And what I noticed is if I move the gimbal ever so slightly and point it towards the ground, I don't mean at an exactly straight down at the ground, maybe only about 2 or 3 clicks on the roller wheel until you get probably about 3 or 4 degrees away from its straight angle. What you'll find is more light can actually get into the lens, and this gives you a brighter picture, exactly as you see here. Now, those are just a couple of things that I do where before I fly any sort of quad where I want to use the video as stock footage. So these go for my DJI quads, Uniques, my Hubsan as well, this particular one. And the easiest way to do that is just take your quad up, lock it in place and move that roller wheel until you can get as much light as you possibly can into the lens. Now, another couple of things you may want to try as well is looking at video presets. So using the video presets which are built into the application and actually going through until you find, because normally you find things like sunrise, sunset and a lot of other different presets where you can just click on, and that then may give you a better looking video based on the time of day where you're flying your quad. Or you can do what I do, and that is just go into the manual section and just play around with the little sliders until you find that you've got yourself the best presets for the weather conditions that you're currently flying in. Once you've got all that, you can save your settings and you can fly again. But don't forget, when you do come to fly again after that particular day that you've calibrated all those settings for, you will have to go back through and recalibrate if the weather is slightly different. Even if the light is slightly darker or you're flying in a different place, you will have to recalibrate. So don't forget to do that, because there's nothing worse than coming home after having a really good flight and then realizing that none of your video footage is actually usable. So just a short one, as I said today, folks. I hope some of that has been useful. I'll leave some of the other stock footage I've done here using this nice little technique I've got, which is not unique to me, I gotta say, but at the same time it's something that's quite simple. I thought I'd share it with you. Maybe you guys will find that quite useful. Let me know how you calibrate your quads or your still cameras. Do you spend a lot of time? Do you tripod your cameras? Do you tripod your quads as well? And then do you calibrate when you're down a level, or do you calibrate when you're up? Preferably for myself, I always prefer to calibrate when the quad's in the sky at a set altitude, normally of around 20 to 25 meters, and that way then I get a nice movement of video at a nice height, as well as being sure to get the right amount of brightness in the video. Alright then, my friends, I hope you've enjoyed that. Thanks ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD, you've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and ring that bell too. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.